G'day guys, I've done a couple of quite long videos on architectural photography, real estate photography. This is another one based around that topic, but it's going to be much quicker. I just wanted to share with you how I'm utilizing Luminar AI and leveraging that to get my work done so much quicker these days. I absolutely love Photoshop, Lightroom and what they can do, and they're still a big part of what I do from a professional point of view. But here's the thing. So if we look at our absolute base layer here, this has just had a very quick light touch up in Lightroom, but you'll see that we're overexposed out of the window. I wasn't using off-camera flash. This is just as the camera shot it. I've then taken a shot which is 2 stops underexposed, and you can see that here in the thumbnail. And basically I've just revealed that through the window there. And rather than having that at 100% opacity, I have just dropped that back so it's a little bit more believable, but I don't want to do that out of these windows. It's the reason that I've overexposed this area here, and that is that there was a lot of construction work still going on in the garden out here, and we didn't want to see that. So then I've just duplicated this layer here up to the top, and I've just darkened that down just so we can bring in a little bit of detail around this light that I felt was getting a little bit overexposed. It was also too orange as well, so I've just taken the orange out there. But anyway, now we have what I would consider to be a nice clean base layer, but it's lacking something, and this is where Luminar AI is coming in, really helping me speed through things. If I were to take a stamped visible layer of this, basically a copy of all these 3 layers, what I can do to do that is Control Shift Alt and E, or Control Shift Option E on the Mac. And here we have those layers. So if I turn all these 3 off and hide that, you can see that that is all on that one layer. And we're going to edit this in Luminar. So I'm going to call that layer Luminar. So I'm going to come to Filter, and I'm going to come down to Skylum Software and open up Luminar AI. And then you have access to all of Luminar's templates, which are just one-click fixes. But what I like to do is actually build my own template that is architecture specific, which I have done, but I'll just show you a couple of tools that I've included in my template. So if you get this and you want to apply this yourself, one is the Accent AI slider. And there you can see if I push it to 100, far too much, but basically I always like to push things to 100 in the video so you can see exactly what it's doing. We are improving texture, clarity, the rendition of colors, contrast. There's so much going on with this one filter, and it's all leveraged around AI. So if I were to do this change from this to this in Photoshop, absolutely I could do it, but I might be doing it in a series of layers with curves, different things like this, bit of sharpening going on, all of that, but just that one slider is already helping us so much with this image. So I like to save that into a preset with not as strong as 100%, but somewhere around that sort of 40, 50 kind of mark. Another tool that I include within that template that I've created is structure. And again, if I push this far too heavily up to 100, you can see what it's doing, but it's certainly bringing out all the details that we have within this architecture. But obviously we don't want it anywhere near that strong, so I normally have that around that sort of 10, 15 mark. And the other thing that I find really useful as well is just coming into the details section and utilizing the sharpening filter. And this is actually a really nice sharpening. You've got more access to refining your masking with the sharpening, but I find you don't even need to do that. The defaults are great. So if I zoom right in, and let's have a look at around this sync area here, we can see that we're currently lovely and sharp. If I turn this details off, and we'll see our original file, a little bit soft, turn it on, we've got a really nice bit of sharpening there, good enough to send back to the client, so I'm really happy with that. There are a few other tools that can also really help you leverage that AI and get your photo looking really good. And if you want to see your before and after, you just click the eye tool, so hold that, you see our before, let go, we see our after, before, quite flat, after, really nice bit of pop and punch. I'm happy to send this back to my client, so I'm just going to click apply, and that's going to export it and send it back into Photoshop as its own layer. Boom, there it is. So if I turn the initial 3 layers on underneath, so we see our before and we see our after, it's as easy as that. And then if you want to use any of Photoshop's native tools, those are still all accessible. So for example, if I wanted to get rid of these little light fixtures up here, let's say I wanted to do that, I can still use Photoshop's erase tools to get rid of those nicely. Any other random anomalies like this little bit up on the ceiling there, get rid of that, happy days. But honestly, using Luminar AI just to enhance my photos with the click of a button. Sure, I showed you a couple of the sliders that I include in my template, but I have that all set up just as a one-click template. Literally, I invoke Luminar AI, click that template, and I'm done. I have heard from people online that, oh, Luminar AI, it's just not a professional tool. I call BS on that because I am a professional. My clients are happy with the work, and if I'm able to get that back to them quicker than ever, I'm saving time. Time is money when you're looking at that from a professional point of view. A tool that helps you achieve those results quicker. Yes, it is a professional tool. Anyway, if you guys want to pick yourself up a copy, I've got a discount code which is @Sky10, Luminar AI, link in the description. Have a good one, guys. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more about how to use the software, and also any more about architectural photography editing as well. Leave your questions below. Catch you in the next one.